In this video, I'm going to talk about streaming in schools. Streaming, the way I'm talking about it, is just a way they teach high schools where they split the smart kids into a smart set of classes and the dumb kids into a dumb set of classes. Now, that doesn't sound very PG, does it? And I can understand why people are upset by a process like that. It's actually illegal in New Zealand to stream your classes. But with a little bit of analysis, you find out that that is actually the stupidest thing ever. If you group students, pupils, based on their abilities, a teacher only has to teach to a specific range of abilities. And that means that streaming allows a teacher to be more efficient. If you are in an unstreamed class and you have a dog, now this dog can't really understand, complex calculus. But if you have a class that is mostly dogs and a sum of you or something, then your teacher is going to be trying to teach complex calculus in a way that these dogs can understand. And yes, I did just compare people that do well at school to dogs. Please don't hold it against me. It was such a perfect metaphor. He was right there. And so you see the problem, right? The teacher can only teach to a specific range. And it makes sense that a conscientious teacher will teach to the largest group in the classroom. And so the kids on the far upper side are disadvantaged because they're not, everything that's taught is stuff they already know. And people on the far lower side are disadvantaged because the teacher shouldn't be going down to their level to help them, because to be as efficient a teacher as possible, the teacher needs to teach to the widest group. If you reduce the range of abilities in a classroom, this becomes less of a problem, because the largest group will be a larger portion of the classroom. So there will be less outliers. The sad thing is that there will almost always be outliers until a fully comprehensive, digital, difference engine that can figure out exactly how smart you are and exactly what you need, and can be personalized to each person and doesn't need government money to work. Until something like that gets invented, there will always be outliers. But streaming between different abilities is a perfect way to get rid of as many of those outliers as possible. And yeah, I just did compare people that do well at school to dogs. But the thing is that, school is not a test of your intelligence. School is horrible at actually testing your intelligence. Whether you were good at school or not is not a reflection on your worth as a person, it's a reflection on whether you're good at school or not. In the north, most of the farmers here left school 14 or 15, and they're still really successful people and good people and nice people, and you don't have to be good at school to be important. Which is, I think, the biggest problem people have with streaming, is that everybody has been raised to think they are a special snowflake. And school is amazing at crushing that. School's no, you're fucking not. Even the smart kids, cannot have self-confidence at school. And I'm telling you this from experience. Yeah, streaming is the most efficient way to teach. I'm very lucky because I went through school mostly in streamed classrooms. At my time before NCEA, I was in streamed classrooms, and it was a fantastic environment. Then I went into NCEA. English is compulsory at level 1. And none of those English classrooms are streamed. So you have the pool of all of level 1 students, and they just randomize them into English classrooms. And I was in a classroom where the largest group of abilities was below mine, which is not a bad reflection on those people as much as it sounds like it. That is an ideal that you have to shake if you want to be a fulfilled person in a way. And long story short, I learnt nothing in level 1 in English, and it wasn't anybody's fault except for the system, because it put me with the wrong group. Now at my school, nothing's streamed. Even in those lower classes, the junior classes, nothing's streamed. And it is leading to genuine depression in some of the students. And it's horrible. If you have a class of mainly average pupils, and you have 3 smart kids. These smart kids are outspokenly smart. They thrive in an environment where they can share their ideas and interact with each other, where they can bounce off each other. And if you put these 3 smart kids in a class by themselves, they'd probably be fine. They'd probably have a lot of fun. In my opinion, that's like the perfect way to be smart, to be like enthusiastic about interacting with other people on an intellectual level. And something that's really interesting, as a side point, is that most people that are not deemed intelligent by a school standard are extroverted, whereas most people that are deemed intelligent by a school's standard are introverted. So the majority of the average is extroverted, the majority of the exception is introverted. And some of that may be a product of what I'm about to say now. These 3 smart kids, they're going at it, they love it, they bouncing off each other, bouncing off the teacher, the entire rest of the class feels stupid. They can't keep up with these smart kids, the teacher's sort of like hooked in with these smart kids, even though the teacher's still trying to teach the rest of the class. The rest of the class is utterly lost, they hate these smart kids because they make them feel stupid. And then resentment builds, the smart kids realize, and the entire classroom environment falls apart and becomes unhealthy. And smart kids learn from that experience that they cannot be outgoing about their intelligence, because most of society will resent them for being intelligent. It's also where you find that most people who are deemed smart by school are actually really shy about it. Like, they are not proud of their achievements. They still feel like they have to achieve more, but they're not going to go around telling people that they achieved. And the interesting thing about this video is that, like, 90% of people who watch this video will agree with me. Like, you don't even have to watch this video, because my argument's not going to convince you because you're already convinced. But the law is still there that you're not supposed to stream, and as someone who enjoys efficiency, it messes with my brain. And as someone whose heart breaks when seeing people not live to their highest potential, or people live unhappily, it's not right. End of video, housekeeping! I really need to start writing scripts for these things. I feel like if I do stuff like this as verbal essays, it'll be better, but that means I have to put the work in on a script, which I actually sort of don't want to do. I've also been sort of thinking about doing like a speech, like public speaking regularly at school, on the deck where Brendan and them hang out. People who go to Kaitai College and watch this, let me know how you think it will be received, and like, you know, all this stuff about whether it's a viable option or not. Because I would love to do regular public speaking, but I would not love to be like attacked by hecklers every time I got on stage. Which I'm actually not certain would happen or not, because seniors get respect, but I don't know if they get enough respect for the whole school to put up with me like getting up on stage and yelling at them about how they're not special cupcakes. This is gonna be a long one. I hope you guys have a good week or something. Bye.